There's a pattern I've noticed after years of talking with retirees. When people look back on their 60s, they almost never say they regret the market returns they earned. They don't talk about wishing they'd found a better stock, and they rarely regret the exact month they finally retired. What they regret, quietly, honestly, is something much more important. It's the realization that their early 60s were the turning point, and they didn't treat them that way. They didn't see that this decade wasn't just another chapter. It was the chapter where everything in their financial life was about to shift. Social Security, Medicare, their tax picture, their withdrawal plan, their investment risk, the longevity expectations, their lifestyle choices, all of it converges in your 60s. Every system that affects your retirement starts changing at once. And by the time many retirees realize that the window to prepare, to coordinate everything, to make strategic choices instead of reactive ones is already closing. The one thing most retirees regret not doing in their 60s is simple: creating a coordinated, intentional plan before all these moving pieces lock into place. Because once Social Security starts and Medicare premiums are set, once RMDs begin, once withdrawal patterns are established, your flexibility dramatically shrinks. And that's why your 60s matter more than any other decade. Hi, I'm Jay Forgione, president of Summit Retirement Solutions. And if you find this helpful, feel free to like this video, subscribe, and share it with somebody else who might benefit. Today, I want to walk you through why your 60s are the decade where clarity matters more than ever, and why the biggest regret retirees have isn't about saving more or retiring earlier, but about not planning proactively while they still had control. Here's what we'll cover: why your 60s are the most important financial transition decade, the major turning points that catch retirees off guard, how taxes, Social Security, and Medicare all collide, the income and risk decisions that shape the next 25 to 30 years, and the exact planning opportunities most people overlook until it's too late. Let's dive in. The 60s are a convergence zone, and most people don't realize it. There's no other decade where more major financial systems all change at once. This is a decade where Social Security becomes available, Medicare begins, required distributions are on the horizon, portfolio withdrawals start replacing earned income, your tax landscape shifts, longevity planning becomes real, estate and legacy decisions get clear. Individually, each of these decisions is important, but together, all happening within the same decade, they create a level of complexity you simply can't solve by tackling one piece at a time. This is where many retirees feel blindsided. They made decisions reactively. They solved problems as they showed up, and they didn't realize how interconnected everything was until the consequences showed up years later. Your 60s are not a decade to wing it. They're a decade to coordinate. Number two, the biggest regret, not planning with taxes in mind. This is the number one regret I hear from people in their 70s and 80s. I didn't realize how much control I had over my taxes in the early 60s. And the reality is, your tax life changes dramatically between 60 and 70. Before your benefits begin, before RMDs are mandatory, before IRMA changes hit, before portfolio withdrawals fully replace your paycheck, you have an exceptional window to reduce taxes for the next 20 to 30 years. This may include strategic Roth conversions, managing future RMD size, taking planned withdrawals in lower income years, reducing future Social Security taxation, avoiding bracket jumps before Medicare, coordinating spousal income. But once the floodgates open, Social Security and RMDs and portfolio withdrawals, your ability to control your taxable income becomes much more limited. That's why retirees look back and say, I wish I had done more planning when I had flexibility. Your early 60s are the last best tax window before required rules begin to limit flexibility. Social Security timing is a strategy, not just a filing date. Most people think Social Security is a simple question: 62, full retirement age, or 70. But the regret I hear is this: I didn't realize how much my Social Security timing affected everything else. Your filing age affects your long-term tax bill, your ability to convert to Roth, your Medicare premiums, your spouse's lifetime income, the withdrawals your portfolio has to support, your risk tolerance, your longevity plan. That's why Social Security should never be treated as an isolated decision. It's a strategic tool, one that needs to be coordinated with taxes, investments, spousal benefits, and risk. Most retirees regret filing based on emotion or assumption instead of planning. Medicare decisions at 65 affect you for years. Most people underestimate Medicare because they see it as health insurance. But retirees who look back tend to say, I didn't understand how big a role Medicare played in my financial plan. Your income determines your Medicare IRMA surcharges, and those surcharges can last for years. If you cross certain income thresholds, even slightly, you can end up paying hundreds of thousands of dollars more per year. This is where regret shows up. Roth conversions done too late, withdrawals made in the wrong order, large capital gains in the same year as Medicare enrollment, claiming Social Security too early, not managing income before and after age 65. Medicare isn't just doctors and hospitals. It's a tax and income decision, one most people underestimate. Number 5, not adjusting investment risk before retirement begins. One of the biggest regrets retirees share is this: I stayed too aggressive for too long. The shift from saving money to withdrawing money completely changes your relationship with risk. Sequence of return risk. The danger of market losses early in retirement can have long-lasting effects. Your early 60s are perfect time to rebalance your portfolio, reduce unnecessary volatility, build a cash or income buffer, segment investments into time-based buckets, ensure that your near-term income needs aren't tied to the market swings. Staying aggressive when you're a few years from retirement can work until the market decides otherwise. Most retirees regret not building a smoother, more stable withdrawal plan sooner. 6, your 60s are where lifestyle becomes real, not hypothetical. Retirement planning isn't just dollars and decisions. It's how you want to live. And many retirees in their 70s say, I wish I had been more intentional about how I wanted my retirement to feel. Your 60s are where the vision becomes reality. What experiences matter most? How much income supports the lifestyle you want? Do you want part-time work or full-time retirement? How do you structure spending in your go-go years? What does the ideal week look like? What legacy goals matter? How do you protect a surviving spouse? When lifestyle decisions and financial strategies come together, the picture becomes clearer and regrets disappear. Most retirees don't regret not saving more. They regret not planning sooner, especially in their 60s while they still had control and flexibility. This is a decade where everything converges. Taxes, income, Social Security, Medicare, investment risk, longevity planning, lifestyle choices. And the retirees who feel most confident aren't the ones who guessed the right numbers. They're the ones who built a coordinated plan before the white window narrowed. If you're in your 60s and want to make sure your financial strategy supports your goals and values, let's connect. You can book a conversation using the link in the description below.